Welcome to my channel. My name is Abby. Thanks for joining. If this is your first time of joining this channel, don't forget to subscribe. And if you have subscribed before, thanks for coming back. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for leaving comments on my page. Okay, so the story I'm about to talk about today is still about Prophet Iginla. This is a fresh revelation. We don't know how far this story is true. Now, a couple of days ago, maybe just yesterday, a fresh information came through, and this is about Pastor Yemisi. I like to call her pastor, even though a lot of people don't call her pastor, but growing up from the church, I know that when there is a senior pastor, automatically they kind of crown the wife with a pastor. If she might not necessarily be a pastor by calling, but these days in Pentecostal, you know that even if they are not called, the pastor himself or the general overseer himself can call this person, and they now say automatically they are pastor. So I plead with you if you think that she's not a pastor, but according to what I'm grown to know, I always prefer to call them pastor, because I know they automatically give them that position as if, you know, it's a position they can just grab. Anyway, that's not the topic for today. So the topic is the fact that Pastor Iginla, some pictures came out, and it was said that this picture that the Pastor Iginla, so when I say pastor, is the wife, Pastor Yemisi Iginla, she secretly married someone in America. Looking at those pictures, what I could see is that based on information that people were saying and what I could deduce as well, it looks exactly like an arranged marriage. And arranged marriage is something that's very, very common if you live abroad. People get married for various reasons. They marry so that they can get the right to live in that country, which in that picture looks like that's what she has done. Also, I need to make this clear that at the moment, it looks like we have two sides that are releasing information. One side supporting Pastor Yemisi, and the other side supporting Pastor Iginla. Now, so when you hear certain stories, you will know that this one is for Prophet Iginla. And when you hear the other story, you will know that this one is for Pastor Yemisi. So the story I am sharing at this time is, I will say, is one of those people that are supporting Prophet Iginla, even though the source of the news was not saying that they are supporting Prophet Iginla, but they are just saying it as an insider. But if you look deep within that story, you will know that this person is just simply for Prophet Iginla. Are these stories right? That is not what anybody could say that is right. And if you have not watched any of this Iginla'S confession, I put it on my playlist, and so you can watch it from the start, from the first time I'm sharing this video. What I said in that video, and I still maintain it, is that both parties are guilty. Both the husband and the wife, they are guilty of something. Now, who is more guiltier? If there's any word like that, is what we don't know. Who is telling the truth? We cannot actually confirm that information, because there's so many stories going on. But I just thought to share the one that I found recently, which, aside from the picture, I found that, and I thought, oh, it's better to let you be aware of this as well. So, Prophet Iginla, if you have not watched any of the Iginla'S confession before, which I believe almost everybody would have watched, but if you have not watched it, is a pastor, the general overseer of the Champions Royal Assembly headquarters in Abuja. He came out recently to make a confession, and like I said, if you have not watched the confession, just go to the playlist and you can watch all those information there. So straight to the information today. So a close aide who is also privy to see all this Yemisi's pastor saga, is not pleased with the whole thing, and so this source decided to unleash and let us know what exactly is happening. According to this source, some times ago, Prophet Iginla was scrolling through the wife's phone, and he found out that the wife was having a kind of affair. Now, I'm summing this up. This might not necessarily be the way they put it there. So he's having a kind of affair with a visiting pastor. Iginla was really angry, was really mad to see this information. And because of that, he decided to probe further to see why this is happening. Apparently, he was watching the wife and realized that the wife is having series of affairs with different people. And rumor also has it that most times when they finish from the church in Abuja at the time, that Iginla usually the wife usually leaves the church before the husband leaves. And so at the time that the wife is going to be going different places to meet all these men, and then so all this information was going on. Also, according to this source, he decided to talk now because of all the lies that was going on. So this source has kept this information for 5 years and did not say anything until she realized that Pastor Yemisi is actually lying. And so the source decided to tell us this information. Prior to them getting married, we were told that Iginla is an AS, and the wife said to Iginla that she is AA. But when they had their first child and they realized the first child is an SS, Iginla probed further, and the wife confessed and said she was sorry, that she didn't want to lose the relationship, and she had to lie that she's AA. At that point, I was like, okay, but this woman said she's been saved since when she was 6 years old. Okay, maybe because she's saved, that doesn't mean she cannot lie. I don't know that, but then I'm thinking, what kind of person is Prophet Iginla? Why would you accept or agree to, knowing that your status, you are a carrier, and AS is a carrier? It's not something to joke about. It's not something to say that I trust you and so you wouldn't check. But just maybe I'm an old school, or maybe I'm just too rigid. Maybe that's why I'm thinking that way. Maybe love makes some people go dance, or maybe love answers it, or love is blind. Maybe that's why he didn't check it. But along the line, he discovered that the wife probably is also a carrier, and so they have SS1. Their firstborn was SS. Anyway, going straight to this information, so she apologized. And but because of all these things that have been happening, the wife sleeping around and all the information that Prophet Iginla has found out, he decided to carry out a DNA. And when he did the DNA, he discovered that some of the children, quote and unquote, some of the children, so we are not even sure, maybe it's one child or maybe it's two, some of the children are not his. So he called a family meeting. They talked about it. He wanted to divorce his wife at the time. The family interceded. And according to the source, Iginla said the only way that he would accept that proposal, or just leave the wife and not divorce the wife, if the wife could accept, would agree if he decided to have his own children as well. And the wife said she was okay with that. According to that information, the wife said she was okay with all this arrangements. And afterwards, they also find out that Pastor Yemisi is trying to seduce quite a few people, particularly the PA of the husband called Femi. And when the husband found out that, he kind of sends Femi away. Also, she was found out that most times when they have argument with the husband, when both of them are having any disagreement, she locks up the husband. The husband also have another PA called Sheun. He's the PA that always rescue the Prophet Iginla whenever they're having any argument. One thing that led to this whole confession, according to this story, is the fact that one day Pastor Yemisi called the lawyer and asked the lawyer that what's going to happen if Iginla died, Prophet Iginla dies, that is she going to get the property? Can she claim all the property? When the lawyer heard this, the lawyer was shocked to hear that from Pastor Yemisi and so the lawyer called Prophet Iginla to explain the situation. When Prophet Iginla heard this, he was really scared, having known that when he had his previous birthday, his food was poisoned, and they later discovered that it was the wife. And hearing now that the wife is saying that what happens if he dies. And so because of that, they made an arrangement to send Pastor Iginla abroad, just to avoid embarrassment, just for people like us not to know what's happening. And they did that successfully. Of course, when they did that, also another information came out to say that some of the pastors working with Iginla, so some of the maybe branch pastor, I don't know what they're called, they fell out with Iginla, and because of that, they went to connive with the wife, and they are demanding 300 million naira from Iginla, so that all these stories does not come out. Now, from the start, some of the story could have been added up, one bits and bobs and all that. But if you look at it, 300 million naira is quite a chunk. Maybe it was more, maybe it's less. But if you watch the Iginla confession very well, you would know that he's under some kind of pressure. We said it in the other video. If you look at the wife's video, she seems so calm. If you look at the husband's video, aside from the confession, there is something eating the guy up. I'm not sure they've told us that in this story yet, but there's still more to it, because before you will demand 300 million or maybe even more from someone, you definitely have that person. You have something to tell us about that person, which the person is also scared of. And that's why I believe that Iginla came out, so that, you know, the what they are trying to blackmail him on, it gives us a bit of, a bit of idea of what the whole story is, even though it might not tell us the exact story, but it came out because I believe that it is pressured. So, they've agreed, they've asked for this 300 million, they've been calling, they've been pestering, to say that if he does not give them this money, something is going to happen. Apparently, maybe he has given them some before, or he hasn't. The story did not mention that. They also said that Prophet Iginla is not married. Now, at that point, I had to pause. That Prophet Iginla is not married to Stella like we thought it was, that the whole information was forged. Could that be true? Do you think that's true? Anyway, that's all I've got to share for you this time. I don't know what you think. Like I said in the other video, this is getting very, very, very confusing. I know one of my subscribers was saying that, oh gosh, we should leave this. Now, for us as a blogger or as a vlogger, we love the Jews, okay? Even though this is a church business and we wouldn't really like to talk about church business, but it's happening. Hey ho, what can we do? We can only share, okay? So thank you for watching my video, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section, and it's a wrap from me. Bye bye.